Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're spotlighting one of the most iconic and sought-after coins in American numismatics, the United States Washington quarter dollar 1776 to 1976, also known as the bicentennial quarter. This coin isn't just a piece of currency, it's a symbol of 200 years of American independence and a must-have for any serious collector. The bicentennial quarter was minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and it's unlike any other Washington quarter you'll find. Instead of the usual eagle design on the reverse, the bicentennial quarter features an intricate, stunning depiction of a colonial drummer, surrounded by 13 stars representing the original colonies. The dual date 1776 to 1976 is proudly displayed on the coin's face, marking a significant milestone in American history. While millions of these quarters were minted between 1975 and 1976 and released into circulation, what's truly fascinating is that despite their abundance, some of these coins have become incredibly valuable due to rare minting errors and exceptional condition. Now, listen carefully because here's where the coin collector's heart starts beating faster. Point one of the most prized errors found on the bicentennial quarters is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice by the minting press, but slightly misaligned, creating a doubled image on parts of the coin. On the 1776 to 1976 quarter, this doubling can appear in the lettering, the date, or even on the stars around the drummer. These double die errors are relatively rare and instantly raise the coin's value, making it highly desirable to collectors worldwide. Another exciting error to watch for is the off-center strike. In this case, the coin is struck unevenly, so part of the design is cut off. Off-center bicentennial quarters with more than 20% of the design missing are incredibly rare and can command hefty prices at auction. Then there's the matter of proof coins and mint state coins. Proof coins are specially made with polished dies and planchets to create sharp details and a mirror-like finish. Bicentennial proof quarters are highly sought after, especially those with flawless surfaces and no signs of wear. Mint state coins, which are uncirculated and retain their original luster, also bring top dollar, especially if they exhibit any rare errors. Now, here's the kicker. While a standard 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter is common and worth only its face value, a bicentennial quarter with these rare errors or in pristine proof or mint state condition can fetch an astonishing price. How astonishing! Brace yourself. Some of these rare error or proof bicentennial quarters have been valued at an incredible $82,000. Yes, $82,000 in words. That's the kind of value that turns a simple coin into a true collector's gem and a potential investment. So, if you have a 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter tucked away somewhere, don't just think of it as your everyday change. Grab a magnifying glass, examine it closely for any doubling, off-center strikes, or exceptional shine. If you spot anything unusual, consider getting it professionally graded. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2, we're diving into a truly captivating piece from the United States Mint, the 2021 Washington quarter featuring the crossing the Delaware design. This quarter isn't just any coin. It's a beautiful tribute to one of the most dramatic and heroic moments in American history, and it holds a special place for collectors and patriots alike. But beyond its stunning design lies a story of rarity, errors, and surprising value that every coin lover should hear. The Crossing the Delaware quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, showcasing famous national sites and historic events. This particular coin captures the iconic scene of General George Washington's daring Christmas night crossing of the icy Delaware River in 1776, a turning point in the Revolutionary War that inspired hope and ultimate victory for the fledgling nation. The reverse side of this quarter features an intricate and vivid engraving of Washington and his troops braving the treacherous waters, framed by the Delaware River's natural scenery. The artistry is exceptional, making this coin not only a piece of currency but a miniature work of art. Now, millions of these quarters were minted, but what makes certain ones stand out among collectors isn't just the design. It's the rarity and the minting errors that occurred during production. Listen closely because this is where it gets fascinating. Among the 2021 crossing the Delaware quarters, a handful have surfaced with rare and unusual errors, which have collectors buzzing. One of the most sought-after mistakes is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice by the press with slight misalignment, creating a duplicated image or doubled lettering. On the crossing the Delaware quarter, this doubling might be visible in the words "crossing the Delaware," or even in the fine details of the boat and soldiers. These double-die coins are extremely rare and can make an ordinary quarter suddenly priceless. Another error that collectors love is the die crack, where tiny cracks develop in the metal die used to strike the coins. These cracks transfer to the coin as raised lines, often seen running through the river, the boat, or even across the date and lettering. Each crack pattern is unique, giving these quarters a one-of-a-kind signature that collectors crave. We also can't forget about the off-center strikes, when the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting, resulting in part of the design missing or shifted. These errors are unusual and can significantly increase a coin's value, especially when the off-centering is dramatic. But rarity alone doesn't guarantee value. Condition is king. Coins that are uncirculated or in mint state, with flawless surfaces and sharp details, are the holy grail for collectors. Such coins have never been used in everyday transactions, preserving their original luster and making them highly desirable. So, what does all this rarity and condition translate to in terms of value? While most 2021 crossing the Delaware quarters hold their standard face value, those with significant errors in pristine condition are a completely different story. Believe it or not, some of these rare error coins, especially those in mint condition, have been valued at an astonishing $80,000. That's $80,000 spelled out in words. This remarkable figure shows that even a modern quarter, if rare and well-preserved, can be a golden ticket for collectors. If you have a crossing the Delaware quarter from 2021, take a close look. Grab a magnifying glass and check for doubling, cracks, or any misalignments. If you spot something unusual, getting it professionally graded could reveal a surprising treasure. Top 3, we're shining a spotlight on a very special piece from 2022, the United States Washington quarter featuring Wilma, the first female principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. This coin isn't just a tribute to a powerful leader, it's also a rising star in the world of rare and valuable coins, and you'll want to hear this closely if you're a true coin lover. Wilma was a trailblazer, a fierce advocate for Native American rights, and a symbol of resilience and leadership. The 2022 Washington quarter honors her legacy with a beautifully detailed design that captures her spirit and dedication to her people. The reverse of the coin features a portrait of Wilma alongside symbols representing Cherokee heritage and culture, making this coin a powerful reminder of history and strength. But beyond its stunning design and historical significance, the Wilma quarter has caught the attention of collectors for reasons that go beyond just aesthetics. You see, while millions of these quarters were minted, a small number have surfaced with minting errors that dramatically increase their rarity and their value. One of the most exciting errors to watch out for is the double die variety. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice but slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect on the lettering or the image. On the Wilma quarter, this doubling might show up in the lettering of her name or in the intricate details surrounding the portrait. These double-die coins are rare and highly sought after because they are like accidental masterpieces. Another fascinating type of error collectors look for is the die crack. Tiny cracks can form in the metal die used to strike coins, and when this happens, raised lines appear on the coin itself. Some Wilma quarters show these distinctive cracks crossing through important parts of the design, making each coin unique and collectible. There are also instances of off-center strikes, where the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting. This results in part of the design being cut off or shifted, creating a visually striking error that collectors love. The more dramatic the off-centering, the higher the coin's value tends to be. Condition is everything in the coin world, and the best specimens are those that are uncirculated or in mint state, meaning they show no signs of wear and retain their original shine and detail. Wilma quarters in this condition, especially those with rare errors, become extremely valuable and highly desirable. Now, the big question: what's the value of these rare and flawless Wilma quarters? While the average quarter is just 25 cents, these special error coins can command an incredible price. In fact, some of the rarest and best-preserved Wilma quarters have been valued at a jaw-dropping $78,000. Yes, $78,000 spelled out in words. This shows just how powerful rarity, history, and condition can be when combined in a single coin. If you happen to have a Wilma macular quarter, take a good, close look. Use a magnifying glass or consult with a professional to spot any doubling, cracks, or off-center strikes. You might be sitting on something truly extraordinary. Top 4, we're focusing on a classic piece that might look ordinary at first glance but holds an extraordinary value for those who know what to look for, the 1965 United States Washington quarter. Now, you might wonder why a quarter from 1965, a coin that's been around for decades, is suddenly grabbing so much attention in the collecting world. Well, this particular year is a turning point in U.S. coinage history, and that makes the 1965 Washington quarter especially fascinating and valuable. Here's the backstory. 1965 marked a big change for American coins. This was the year the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in quarters, dimes, and half dollars. Before 1965, quarters were made with 90% silver, but starting in 1965, they switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. This shift was a response to rising silver prices and coin shortages. So, 1965 quarters are actually the first year of this new clad composition, and that fact alone makes them special. What really makes the 1965 Washington quarter stand out for collectors, however, are certain rare varieties and errors that happened during the minting process. One of the most exciting finds among these coins is the double die error. This error occurs when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, causing a duplicated or ghost image to appear on parts of the coin, especially noticeable on the date, lettering, or Washington's profile. These double die coins are rare and highly sought after because of their unique and eye-catching appearance. Another fascinating error to keep an eye out for is the clad planchet error, or wrong metal composition. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on planchets intended for other coins, or with anomalies in the metal layering, leading to unusual appearances and textures that collectors prize. Plus, there are the off-center strikes, where the coin's design is partially missing or shifted because the planchet wasn't perfectly aligned during minting. These off-center coins are visually stunning and rare, often commanding significant premiums. Condition is always a critical factor when it comes to value. While many 1965 quarters circulated heavily, finding one in mint state or uncirculated condition, especially with these rare errors, is like finding a treasure. The original luster, sharp details, and absence of wear can make a massive difference in price. So, what can a rare and flawless 1965 Washington quarter be worth? While most of these quarters are common and worth just their face value or a bit more, the rare error versions, especially those in pristine condition, can fetch astonishing sums, believe it or not. Some of these rare and error-filled 1965 Washington quarters have been valued at an incredible $76,000. That's $76,000 spelled out in words. If you have a 1965 Washington quarter sitting in your collection or your pocket change, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look closely for any signs of doubling, metal anomalies, or off-centering. If you spot anything unusual, it might be worth getting it graded by a professional. You could be holding a piece of numismatic gold. Top 5, we're diving deep into a fascinating coin from a transformative era in American numismatics, the 1967 Washington quarter. If you think a quarter is just a quarter, think again. This particular coin holds some incredible secrets that could make it a prized gem in any collection. So listen up carefully, because what we're about to uncover might just blow your mind. The year 1967 is a unique chapter in the story of the Washington quarter. This was smack in the middle of a pivotal period when the U.S. Mint was navigating a silver shortage that changed how coins were made forever. By 1965, silver was completely removed from quarters and dimes, and 1967 quarters were minted using a copper-nickel clad composition. While this change meant the coins lost their intrinsic silver value, it introduced a whole new wave of interest and possibilities for collectors. What makes the 1967 Washington quarter stand out, though, isn't just its metal composition, but the rarity of certain error varieties that appeared during its production. One of the most talked about mistakes is the double die error. Imagine a coin where some elements, like the date, the words Liberty, or even Washington's profile, appear to be stamped twice, creating a slight shadow or doubling effect. These errors happen due to misalignment during the minting process, and they are extremely scarce. For the 1967 quarter, such double die varieties can be particularly eye-catching and highly sought after. Another fascinating error seen on some 1967 quarters is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank doesn't line up correctly under the coin press, causing the design to be shifted off the middle. The result? A quarter that looks like it's been hit just right, sometimes revealing part of the coin's blank edge, and these coins can fetch a hefty price among collectors for their visual uniqueness. There are also subtle die cracks that collectors watch for. Tiny fractures in the coin die that transfer to raised lines or marks on the coin's surface. These imperfections might seem like flaws, but in the world of numismatics, they often add character and rarity that collectors cherish. Beyond errors, condition plays a huge role in a coin's value. While many 1967 quarters circulated widely, finding one in mint state or uncirculated condition is becoming more and more difficult. These pristine coins show no wear, maintain their original shine, and exhibit crisp details, qualities that can turn a simple quarter into a collector's treasure. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. How much can a rare, error-filled, and beautifully preserved 1967 Washington quarter be worth? Surprisingly, some of these exceptional coins have been valued at a staggering $74,000. Yes, $74,000 spelled out in words. If you happen to come across a 1967 Washington quarter, don't just toss it in your pocket. Take a closer look, use a magnifying glass, and inspect it for any doubling, off-centering, or unusual markings. If it catches your eye as something extraordinary, have it professionally evaluated. You could be holding a coin worth far beyond its face value. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the fascinating world of the 1967 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to uncover more hidden stories and values of rare coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future treasures. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, every piece tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth a small fortune. Keep hunting, stay curious, and happy collecting.